On the last episodes of WildChild, you found WildChild anchored in the ICW near Southport, North Carolina, where we waited almost a week for weather to jump out and cross. We met John and Michel from the sailing vessel Outlandish, and we met Henno and Sonia on the German boat. The crew from the three vessels bonded over dinner, became friends, and we decided all three vessels were going to jump out into the ocean to make a passage south the next morning. The captains had conferenced the available weather window and the possible destinations. We were all uncertain as to whether we would go maybe to Charleston, South Carolina, or maybe to Hilton Head. It depended on the conditions.
So we're leaving Southport North Carolina. So destination Charleston, maybe 120 miles from here, so it will be a night passage.
Good morning, sailing fans. So we're leaving Southport, North Carolina right now. It looks like we have a good, our nicest 2-day weather window in a while. We'll be doing an overnight passage. It's, 10 degrees Celsius, so it's not freezing, but it's not warm. We're in North Carolina, and we're going to go to South Carolina. 120 nautical miles from here is Charleston, South Carolina, which we should easily be able to make. But if the weather window remains favorable, we should be able to get 60 miles past that to Beaufort, South Carolina, and tuck in.
Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Yeah, again, we're wearing two coat layer. That's warm enough. Yesterday was beautiful, close to 22 degrees, 22. So it's a chill morning, but at least it's sunny. It's beautiful. Look at that. At least there's the sun. That's the main important thing, and no rain.
The other two sailboats had got an earlier start than we did. We were the last of the three to leave.
Low tide, so you have to be careful. Look at these. Yeah. So we're leaving Southport, North Carolina.
We got WildChild out into the open ocean again, and conditions are beautiful, calm, and favorable. It is so good to be sailing again. My relationship with the ocean and Mother Nature has gotten really complicated in the last several months. There are times like this. You can feel her presence in your soul. The sailing conditions were perfect. If only the weather forecast holds true for the rest of the passage, this is going to be a great sail. So, I think Lexi's having medical problems again. My kidneys are sore, and they've been sore for about a day or so. And my circulation has gone really bad again. It started last night. My hands are frozen. It's 15 degrees out here, but I got, long johns, 2 pairs of sweatpants, overall, 3 sweaters. It's 15 degrees inside. It's not generally very cold for us. My hands are constantly frozen. My limbs are tingling from lack of blood circulation. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should get travel medical insurance. America's the most expensive place in the world to get health care. And we're only going to be in the States for another month. But if I'm developing a kidney problem, maybe I need a doctor. Maybe I can flush it with water. I don't know. What I eventually figured out is that I was having kidney problems from dehydration. Sailing for months in nasty weather in cold waters. I had so much clothes on, it was such a pain to go to the washroom. It was just easier not to drink water. The good news is the sailing conditions are the best we've ever seen. This is the calmest sailing ocean we've ever seen. Sunshine, blue skies, calm conditions, 3 miles offshore. It's perfect. It's so gentle down below you'd think you're at a dock.
That's neat. Love it. And I saw a dolphin just a little bit. They passed in front of the bow, boop boop, and by they were gone.
We are seeing dolphins, just not catching them on film, sorry. We were a few miles off the coast of Myrtle Beach by early afternoon when the wind forecast proved wrong yet again. We ran out of wind. The wind was supposed to be 8 to 12 knots. We had less than 4 knots of wind. Eventually, we had to motor. We had to motor for like 7 hours. It is the longest period that WildChild has ever motored.
Yeah, this is the North Atlantic. But we are leaving North Carolina and we're going to cross the border, the line basically between the two states. North Carolina, South Carolina. Myrtle Beach is on the port side, big building. I'll show you. You see the tall building on the port side? There you go. So this is Myrtle Beach. That's the shoreline. You see that? It's maybe 4 miles now. I'm looking at the ocean. It's like a fireplace. When you look at the fire in a fireplace, you get lost in your...
Michel eventually decided he wanted to go fishing and catch us dinner. So I set up the fishing rod for him and got him set up on deck. We're just outside of Myrtle Beach and Michel's having a lovely afternoon deep sea fishing.
Like to catch sushi.
He lasted about 10 minutes. This is Michel really fishing. This happens every time he fishes. He makes a mess of the line. He's hiding it with his hand right now, but he's made an absolute mess of the reel. He's got lines sticking out everywhere, and this happens every single time he fishes. It's his specialty. I guess I'm gonna have to go rescue him again. Dad, tell me. Say that again.
Fuck.
So,
I did everything you told me. I put my thumb, I release it, and look at the mess.
So because this is not a savable reel right now, like the line is such a mess, there's no way we're gonna get it untangled. We're gonna try and save the lure. Michel's pulling it in by hand. We're gonna have to cut out and lose all this line, and at least we're gonna save the lure. $500 in fishing gear, that's just too complicated for Michel to use. I don't think I let him fish anymore after this. Every single time Michel fishes, he does this. But it's never his fault.
As you can see, it's so quiet. We're under engine since an hour. The wind died. That was not supposed to happen, but that's the way it is.
I like the ocean when she's calm, but I'd rather be sailing than running the engine.
George, I want to show you there's no wind. We're under engine. But what I want to show you is this. So basically, we are 316 miles from Miami, and basically from the Bahamas, we are 361 miles. We left a few months ago. Yeah. From Sugarloaf, Merida, Lake Erie, And now we're 300 some miles from our first goal to relax and be in the island.
The sun is starting to set and we've been running engine all afternoon. Forecast was for 10 knots of wind. We have 2. I spent most of the day down below, reading books, watching TV, and cooking dinner. We motor sailed into darkness off the South Carolina coast, hopeful that maybe we'll get some thermal effect winds. The forecast says there should be some wind tonight. Here's to hoping.